brand awareness using outdoor advertising. We also build extremely fast websites.
Awesome. Welcome to the call. Eric Adams.
Yeah, I'm a mortgage lender. Just got my license about 4 or 5 months ago. So I'm trying to get that business off the ground and do that completely full time.
Awesome. Welcome to the call. Jeffrey.
Hi, I go by Jeff, but anybody can call me whatever they want. I am a financial planner and just getting back into it. I previously had about 15 years experience as a financial analyst, working with startup companies and venture funding, working with, excuse me, working with private investor groups, putting the two of them together.
Awesome. Welcome to the call. Kat.
Thank you.
And you're muted. Kat, do you want to tell us about your business?
Hi. Oh, they.
Oh, yep, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Hi.
And what type of business are you in?
I'm a publisher. I create community magazines and put them in affluent neighborhoods.
Awesome. Awesome. Welcome to the call. And Sunny.
She's in the library and says she has to have her audio muted.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to the call. And let's see here, Allison.
Hi, everyone. Allison Pyron, and I'm in the process of starting my own business of doing virtual assistant work. So any business owners out there who are looking to get some help in their business, kind of, you pile up a list and you kind of push those things to the bottom of the list because they aren't fun for you. It isn't something that you want to do. It's not a priority, but at some point you need to do it. And with everyone out there these days going virtual, we've seen a need for it. I've seen a need for it. And so in the process of starting that business currently.
Awesome. Welcome to the call. Alan Reeves.
My name is Alan Reeves. Some people know me as Woody. You can call me either one. That's fine. I own an IT services firm headquartered in Nashville, Tennessee. We have subscribers in 26 states. We do both commercial IT as well as consumer IT and cybersecurity. I am very much looking forward to meeting Kat because I'm actually reading a book called No BS Guide to Marketing to the Affluent by Dan Kennedy. I believe that we could have some real program reach into affluent communities as well as neighborhoods. So that's something that's very attractive to me. I'm excited about that. And lastly, I would like to know from Allison Pyron how long she, as a Seahawks fan, is going to continue to let John wear that Dallas Cowboys looking hat. And that is all that I have for the day.
Exactly. Hey, you know what? I just got this shirt. I was at the golf shop getting my putter re-gripped, and I saw this. I guess the Ryder Cup is and so I asked her, I'm like, hey, what hat would go with this shirt? And I'm like, oh wait, America's team. That's right.
And let me tell you, just for clarification, that is the only time he has probably worn that hat since he's had it.
Yeah, and I'm just
Hey,
shocked.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm
Okay.
shocked that you got that
Exactly.
shirt at a golf shop.
Yeah, it's funny. Christina Goodwin. And you're muted.
Hello. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yep. No. Let's try it one more time.
Can you hear me
There
now?
you go. Yep.
I got dropped. I don't know. My name is actually Chrissy. Please call me that. But Christina's my government name. I'm actually a restaurant manager looking to expand my knowledge into other fields, and just trying to join in this call to see what type of knowledge I can gain, and how I can further my career maybe into different fields and industries.
Awesome. Welcome to the call. All right, so let me get this rolling. For those of you that have never been on this call, the format is going to be open live Q&A here in a couple of minutes. I've got some things that I want to share from a business perspective, and then Alan Reeves, my co-host, is going to share his thoughts as well. And then we're going to open it up to your biggest business problem, challenge, opportunity, whatever it is that you want to mastermind on. Understand that this is being streamed live on YouTube right now. And so just keep that in mind when you're talking, but you can ask whatever question you want. Myself and Alan are going to do our best job to answer that question, give you strategies, solutions to the challenges and problems. And then we're going to go around the room, and any other business owner on this call is going to give you their thoughts as well. So this is a great forum to bring your business problems and challenges. There's probably 100 years of business experience on this live call right now. And so I think we're going to be able to help you out today. So with that said, let me get rolling here. It's the thing that I was thinking about is this week alone, I've gotten probably 6 or 7 calls from clients, friends, relatives going, you know what? It ain't working for me no more. I'm at a pivot point in my business, in my life, and I'm no longer having fun. And so I've had an opportunity, I should say, to work with several people this week on these types of problems and challenges. And it's been, nobody learns more than the coach or the consultant or the teacher or whatever you want to call it. But I was reminded of a basic principle when I sat in Steve Napolitan's office on May 17th, 2015. I had managed to build a business from 0 to 6 figures in 4.5 months. I had already sold multiple IT companies, and I was stuck. I mean, I could not for the life of me get beyond $8,635 a month in the business that I had built. And I had 26 clients. Half of them I didn't like. The other half, I enjoyed, and I was just not, I wasn't happy. I was making good money, but I was not happy. And so I sat in his office over here in Roseville, and I expected him to give me a bunch of solutions to my problems. And that's what I came there for. That's what I paid him the money for. That's what I wanted. And he took me down a whole different path that I was not expecting. And so one of the things, let me see if I'm going to rotate this to my whiteboard. Okay. And forgive the camera. Let's see if we can right size that. Boom. Okay. And so one of the things that which I thought was very unconventional at the time, he didn't start off with business. What he did do is he drew on a whiteboard this circle right here. And he said, okay, this is your life. Okay. What kind of life do you want to live? So when you wake up in the morning, how do you want to wake up? Where do you want to wake up? What kind of house do you want to wake up in? When you go throughout your day, what kind of flexibility do you want to have? You know, how much time do you want with your kids? Where do you want to travel? What do you want to do? We focused on the life that I wanted to have before we got into business. And so literally about an hour into it, I came up with, okay, I want to be able to operate wherever I want to be in the world, as long as I have an internet or phone connection. It didn't matter if I'm sitting on the beach in Hawaii or whatever. I want to be able to do my business wherever I want to do it. I don't want any limitations. And so we got very clear on the life that I wanted to live and have. And then we designed a business to achieve that goal. And so that was May 17th, 2015. And until August, get this set up here again real quick. It wasn't until August of 2017 did I actually achieve that goal. I was sitting on a beach in Hawaii at the St. Regis in Princeville on Kauai. I called up 2 clients of mine and I said, I need to coach you. I need to do an actual coaching session with you while I'm here. Okay, well, I go, no, this is like the culmination, the achievement of the goal, the dream that Steve helped me realize. So I sat there and I coached him while I was in my bathing suit. And I'm like, dude, I achieved it. So the thing is what I've learned over the 30 years now, almost 31 years this year of being in business, is you can make all the money you want. You know, you know, with the right skill set, the right training, with the right mentors, with all that stuff, I mean, you can make money. Money's not the problem, right? It's, are you happy? Do you have joy? Do you have fulfillment in your life? And so Steve helped me realize, you know what? He says, you need to get rid of 14 clients. So actually, no, when it whittled it down to 10, so 16 clients. I literally cut in a 45-day period. I added 2 more clients, said no more than 12, tripled my income in the process, was a whole lot happier. And so the one principle that I learned, because the one thing I also learned over the years of being in business is principles are timeless, meaning they're forever. Practices are timely. And so one of the things I learned from that, because it was scary. I mean, I had to cut 16 clients and add 2 more. And I tripled my rate at the same time. I'm like, are you sure this is what I got to do? You know? And he did. So I ended up literally increasing my income well over $16,000 a month in less than 43 days. Now, great for me, blah, 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 whatever. Here's the point. If you own a business and you're not waking up every morning going, I can't wait to get at it. And you have to force yourself to shut down at the end of the day. If that's not where you're at, then it's time to take a break, a pause, if you will, to step back and go, okay, I have a business. I can pivot and I can change my business anytime, any way I want. Let me get back to the basic reason I started a business in the first place. So why do most people start a business? I'll just speak for myself. You can go through this on your own. I wanted to make money. I didn't want to go back to work for somebody ever again. I wanted to have a lot of fun and enjoy the clients that I have. And so my number one rule now, and Steve taught me this, is I look at my calendar, and if I see you as my client on my calendar and I cringe, right? I'm like, God, is there any way I can reschedule this appointment? Then I need to have that conversation with that client because I'm no longer having fun. So let's translate this into you. Whatever business you're in, if you're not waking up every day super excited about what you're going to do, then it's time to step back and reevaluate what type of business am I building what type of life do I want to have and do I want to live, and get clarity around that, and then build a business that supports that. And you can do that with a mentor. You can do that with a really good trusted advisor that has some good advice. But that's the one thing I want to leave with you guys today is if you're not super excited about what it is that you're doing, you only got one life to live. At the end of the day, you know, you're going to spend about a third to maybe even as a business owner, half your life building your company. So you might as well go at it with a company that you love to have. That's the reason I sold my IT company. I'll never forget. I was sitting Richard Hassman at Tobacco Road, Marconi and Fulton, and in May of 2012. And I'm going, he goes, how's business? I go, dude, I am printing money. I have never been this profitable in my business ever. He goes, dude, that sounds great. I go, no, it sucks. And he goes, what? He goes, dude, I'm not even having fun anymore. You know? And so this is one of those things as a business owner that's not written in the book. It's not something that you can predict, but it's something that every business owner faces at one point in time is you set out to build your company and you achieve all the goals that you set out to achieve. And then you're kind of like, what's next? Right? And so if that's you, if you're on the live call or you're listening to the recording, if that is you, here's my formula. Here's as the business doctor, here's my prescription for you. Is I want you to sit down with a blank piece of paper, and I want you to ask yourself this question: what do I want to be? What do I want to do? What do I want to have? What's the kind of life I want to live? And start writing that down. Whatever comes to your mind, God, universe, whatever your belief system is, start writing that down. And once you get that list down, then seek out a mentor. Seek out somebody that can help you clarify that. Maybe you can do it on your own, but literally look at that and go, okay, what is the business? Is my business model that I have right now, is it going to support that? Is it going to help me achieve that? And if not, you maybe have to modify some things, maybe subtract some things, eliminate some things, add some things, whatever it is you got to do to get it to the point where because I can tell you this, if you're having fun and you're feeling fulfilled and you wake up every day going, I can't wait to go do this. I just can't wait to get going at my business. You will make a whole lot more money and you'll be a whole lot more satisfied. And so that's kind of my prescription for you today. And so, Alan, what do you got for us today? Anything that specifically that you want to go over?
Well, yeah.
Before we get into the Q&A.
It's in the news and you can't miss it if you're paying attention. I like to think of myself as a technology evangelist. I like to bring solutions that make people's lives and businesses better into play, guarantee their uptime, value-added services, you name it. And we've got something for everybody. However, lately, in fact, for the past few years, it always circles back around to the negative. The ransomware attack that is all over the news right now, I can't stress strongly enough to any business owner how important it is that you have your data locked down. And this is no slam on Apple, and it is no slam on Google, and not on Microsoft. But if you think OneDrive or iCloud or Google Drive or any of those solutions is your answer, you are very sorely mistaken. What is happening right now is that bad actors on the other side of the globe are daily 24/7 researching different pieces of line of business software. And it could be something like QuickBooks Desktop, Stamps.com, Windows or Mac itself, supply chain software. They're breaking this stuff apart and looking for ways that they can leverage it these holes in the software, vulnerabilities that haven't even been discovered yet, so that they can inject their code in there and have it affect every single machine that that's installed on. There are thousands of companies that are currently affected by this attack that happened on, what was it, the 2nd or 3rd of this month. The company that allowed the software in, the company that had the vulnerability, Kaseya, they still have not turned their lights on yet. There are hundreds of IT service companies that cannot service their clients. Now, that did not impact our company. We were fortunate enough to not use that product. I pray and feel badly for the ones that were. I am also not in denial that it could have easily happened to us, because it can happen to any product. And if you as a business owner are not actively seeking out a professional consultant or consulting firm just to have a talk with, just to have a discovery session with, that second opinion that John talks about as to the state of your technology, how you're doing things. I don't care who it is. It can be us. It could be any professional service firm out there, not a computer guy in a truck, but some organization that does this as their profession and for their living. Get that done. Make sure that you know what it truly looks like for your business if you suffer one of these attacks, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And if your business can be down for an hour before you're back up and running, okay. If your business can be down for 5 days or 30 days before you're up and running, you need to know what that number is and decide, is that something that I'm willing to tolerate? Is that something that I'm willing to take? Do I have the cash reserves to pay my people if we're unable to generate income during that time frame? It is not a technical issue anymore. It is a business viability issue, because this latest attack is going to kill hundreds of businesses, not only the IT firms that were running the software that it got through, but the end user businesses of all different kinds. That supermarket chain in Sweden is still completely shut down because their point of sale terminals don't work. They're all ransomed. They cannot operate. This is a business viability prospect for you now, and you need to step up and get it done. And so there's my soapbox.
So let me ask you a question real quick, because I am a client of yours.
Yeah.
Right? And I have 3 machines on your juice, if you will.
Yeah.
Right. And so if I got hit with something like that, and you guys can take this as a promotion for Mouse Calls all you want. That's not the purpose of the question. But if my Mac here or Allison's PC or Preston's PC got hacked, right? You guys can restore us, right?
We can restore you. One thing that and not to lengthen this, we did have a client a couple of years ago who clicked on something that they shouldn't have. This is a consumer client. Her mother passed away, and she was up at 11 o'clock at night having a couple of glasses of wine, mailing friends and family about arrangements. And she was vulnerable. She saw something. If she had been on her game, she probably wouldn't have opened it, but she did. The next morning, she woke up and there's a big ransom note on her computer. She called us. It was not that deep. We were able to remote in. We killed the infection. We killed the ransomware. And then we just downloaded everything that we had for her that was backed up, like what you have, John. In her case, it took about 35 minutes. She was back up and running. Yep. Nothing ever happened. That's about as good as it gets, though, folks. That's about as good as it gets. But the point is, we had everything backed up. And we back up every device that we cover. So that's
so for myself as a business owner, which I have no idea what you're talking about, well, I kind of do, right? Mm-hmm. But everybody else in the recording, it's like, my thing as a business owner and everybody else on this call and listening to the recording, it's like, is my stuff backed up? Can you get me back up if anything happens? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay. So outside of that, it's like, Mouse Calls Online, you can see the URL there. If you're not on that juice, you should get on that juice. I've owned 4 IT companies, and I learned this lesson so many times the hard way with various different clients. Yeah, I had a client one time, dude. It's like they had their freaking vending machine on the internet, and some freaking company from across the sea. I don't even know how they did it. I have engineers. I had engineers at the time. They hacked through the freaking vending machine and took control of the phone system and made all kinds of foreign calls on their damn phone system. I was like, how the hell did they do that? And you wouldn't even expect them to be a target. But here's the point. Okay. I still to this day don't want to know anything about what it is that you do. I just want to pay you and have you do the shit, to be quite honest. I don't care. I don't want to know how you guys do all that stuff. I just know that I asked my question as a business owner. You gave me the answer that I'm looking for, and guess what? I'm gonna still continue to pay you. So that's what matters. And so it's the same thing across the board. You talk about bookkeeping, accounting, a lawyer, legal parts of your business, marketing. It's like Sonia. She manages all my social media, and I get texts all the time. I go, they go, dude, that post you did on Instagram was awesome. I'm like, really? Tell me about it. It sounds good. I'm like, here's the point I'm trying to make. Outsource all your weaknesses. Okay, the things you're not great at that have to be done in your business. Why try to freaking spend all your time mastering stuff that you have no business mastering? And that principle that I learned from Kiyosaki, God, man, 1999, he's like, don't pay for jack in your business, and don't do anything that's not in your strengths. Outsource all your weaknesses. Find somebody who's better than you at all that stuff, and get your ego out of the way, and you will prosper. You will scale your business. You'll get a business that will run without you. And that formula has worked very, very successful. So with that said, I hope those 2 tips have been helpful to you guys today. Now we're going to open it up. We're going to transition our call into the mastermind section. And so we're going to start off with Eric Hutton. We're going to kind of go around the room. You can literally say pass if you want, but is there anything that you want to mastermind with this group today? A business problem, challenge, opportunity? Eric, you have the floor, dude. And you're muted.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't have any specific thing I came prepared to ask about. If nobody else has something, I can come up with a couple of items to run by some folks, but I don't have anything in particular, so I'll let somebody else go.
Okay, cool. Eric Adams.
I don't have anything particularly. Kind of where I'm at. I'm obviously just starting out, so a lot of it's just growth. Whether that's getting my name out there, networking, marketing, and then just overall industry knowledge, which I've had. I'm pretty well versed on because there's several things I've had to do so far, and I'm working underneath a great lender, a great broker. But yeah, it's just about growing. And if you have any tips on how to do that as efficiently as I can. I know it's kind of general.
So you're out there with so you're in the mortgage business and you're with Chris over there, right?
Correct.
Okay. Great mentor, dude. Like that dude knows exactly what he's doing. The only thing I can tell you in the mortgage industry and all the thousands of mortgage people that I've consulted over the years is every single day. It's like, how many new friends can I meet today? How many new people can I add to my database today? Because mortgage and real estate, where the amateurs focus on is how can I time a listing? How can I go out and find a listing right now? How can I go out and find somebody that wants to buy their home, sell a home, buy a home right now? And they're laser focused on that. Where it's a long tail game, right? It's all about how many relationships, how many new people can I add to my database today that don't know me, that need to know me, and then I can nurture that relationship over time. So when they do two things, number one, either they want to buy a home or sell a home or refinance, right? Or they know a friend, relative, colleague, client, past client that they want to buy a home. Your name is the first thing that they hear. And so thank you cards, posts about, holidays, going on and building your friends list on Facebook, building your Twitter following, your Instagram following. It's like almost omnipresent. You want to add a tremendous amount of value to people's lives to where you're all over the place. Like they see you everywhere, and when you're first starting out, it is a lot of work, but over time, like Tom Daves is an old client of mine, and he is the #1 realtor in all of this region. Like he is omnipresent, like he is everywhere, right? And the one thing that we worked on early on, this has to be 10 years ago, is, dude, you got to be everywhere. Like your name needs to be a household name. and so now he's all over the place. He's on the radio. He's on, he's got, he is like every billboards, like you name it, man. The dude is like all over the place. Lots of agents, closes a crap ton of business because he put in the effort in the beginning. He worked his tail off, right? And so truth be told, if you're in the mortgage business, you're in the real estate business, first 2 to 5 years, you're looking at 60, 70, 80 hours a week of just bragging about you, getting, adding value to people's lives. What are the things, networking, developing relationships with pest control people, house cleaners, everything that a homeowner invests in or buys, right? You want to develop those relationships so where your name is all over the place. So it's like in the financial services industry, right? Like a friend of mine, I worked with him for 4 years to get him to what's called, I think it's called top table or top of the table or whatever. We're earning well over $1 million a year in income as a financial planner, right? Investor, things like that. And the thing is the #1 strategy is find somebody that you like. Okay. #1, find somebody you like, that you resonate with, that you click with, find out what they need and help them fill that need. Right. And as a result, you're going to build this massive network of resources, and you're going to be the go-to guy for those resources. And you're going to be the first person they think about when they want to refinance a home, buy a home, invest in a home. Like you're going to be the go-to guy. And so it's a lot of work in the beginning, but if you're in it to win it and you're in it long-term, does it matter if you hit pay dirt now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, right? And so it's all about developing those friendships, relationships, and then really committing long-term. So that's my thoughts. Anybody else has any thoughts for Eric?
Yes. My business is the exact opposite of yours. Yours is to get people qualified to get a loan through. Mine is to get them up to the credibility to where they can get the loan. So we're a complement.
Definitely.
There you go. You guys should connect.
Yes.
So let me bring on Miss Relationship. Okay. Hey, that is your nickname. I'm telling you, man. Allie Pyron is, of all the people I've ever met in my life, the one person that knows how to develop relationships. Like we could be in freaking Phoenix, Arizona, and it's like, oh, I know that person. Oh, I know that person. I'm like, really? Right? So what feedback do you have for Eric Adams?
So what I can say is look at it in the relationship standpoint. If you meet a woman out there that you're interested in, you want to court them. You want to impress them. You want to spend the time in developing that relationship with them. And as John said, what I would recommend doing is you go out there and you build that relationship with those people, court them. find out what they like and build that relationship in that way. So when they think of what they have a need of, they're going to think of you. I have a friend of mine that I went to high school with. She is all over social media. She's a real estate agent, all over social media. Anytime I open up my social media, her story is the first one I see. And it is these crazy elaborate videos, but she gets your attention. And that's what happened with me is I would see it and then I started reaching out to her or commenting on these videos. And it may look crazy and quirky, but sometimes just a 30-second image or video or something is all it can take for for you to grab their attention. And so what I recommend is just focusing on, okay, who do you know that's out there that's getting the attention? And if it takes you to jump on their coattails for a little bit to go on the ride with them, then really all it's going to do is benefit you in the end. And, and then you're going to start to pick up on little notes that they've done, pick their brain and say, hey, what hasn't worked? Those are the people that'll be able to tell you, but court them. That's the one thing that I can say, just like you would a woman, you're going to wine and dine. It's the same thing. Build that relationship with whatever power partner that you need.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Alan Reeves, you have something you want to add?
Yeah, just real quick, and I don't know, and Eric, forgive me, I don't know if this will apply to you or if you have the ability to do this, but kind of snowballing on what Allie was saying, you want to be able to be the top of the line in awareness when people think you're in. And there is a phenomenal book along this line called Build a Story Brand, and it's basically around crafting yourself and or your organization to be exactly that. There's an IT services firm that I read about years ago that was having a lot of trouble getting off the ground because they didn't have any enthusiastic prospects, and their name was something like Datatel Networks Inc. And nobody would ever remember that. And they wore purple shirts, and they rebranded themselves as the Purple Guys. There was no mention of technology in their company name anymore. They were Datatel Networks, DBA, the Purple Guys. And they wrapped their cars in purple. And before they knew it, they had anybody could. They had people just knocking on their door. They see a car. Oh, Purple Guys, tech. Yeah, I'll call them. It was so simple, but that's the only change that they needed. So, there have been countless stories of people finding a little something that people remember. Maybe it's a shirt and a hat that stands out. Who knows? But it's something to think about. And that book, Building a Story Brand, regardless of whether that's something you can do in your organization or not, it's worth a read. It's really good.
Definitely. I appreciate the recommendation.
Awesome. Let's see here. Chrissy, you have any feedback for Eric? Anybody else have any feedback for Eric? Nope. Okay. Hey, man, I hope that helped you out today.
I did.
Let's move on to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, what's on your mind, man?
Well, first of all, I would like to piggyback on what we were talking about earlier with Alan. I used to work in a state government IT office, and we found that the most of the attacks were done by phishing, and that's usually how they start. And basically, the phishing starts out with like an email that looks like something that you're familiar with. One of the more famous ones is where they mimic a bank, and they got a link on there saying, click here to upgrade your account, please sign in with your username and password. And boom, as soon as you do that, they got your username and password to your bank account. And those are the type of things that you got to be on the lookout for. Am I right, Alan?
People need to be a lot more aware of, like, don't click on anything if you don't know who the person is.
Exactly. And you'd be surprised how many. Well, and the agency that I was in, we had over 5,000 computers, and that's not counting the servers or anything, but that's just the terminals. But the point is that we would probably see anywhere from 1 to 500 a month where the phishing software that we had wound up catching somebody not even clicking on it, but just catching the phishing email.
Yep. So in your business, any business problems, challenges, opportunities that you would like to mastermind on today?
Well, right now, the issue that I have is with incompetence in my organization, and this is above me. So I'm trying to deal with that and get that out of my hair right now. And unfortunately, I don't have much hair left, but not necessarily from that. But anyway, that's the problem that I'm dealing with right now. So
how do you deal with incompetence that's above you?
Well,
is that the question?
Yeah, that's I'm trying to figure out how not to get frustrated with the fact that that there's a bunch of things that administratively they're supposed to know, and yet they file the wrong piece of paperwork. They don't give out the right information, and it drives me batty because things that should be taken care of overnight take 2 to 3 weeks to get taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so in your type of business, you're doing, refresh my memory, I think I'm correct on this, financial planning, right?
Right.
Right. And so you're dealing with a broker dealer, I would imagine.
Right.
Okay. And so probably the biggest challenge is your hands are tied on a lot of stuff that you can actually share and talk about. And so you don't have really the freedom that a lot of us have, which is like, you can't just like hop on social media and talk about things. You have to get it approved. Right. And
and not only do you have to get it approved, you have to make sure that it's in compliance with all of state and federal regulations. We're over maybe half a dozen different types of financial instruments that are highly regulated. So, it's that. Plus, I've got a deeper knowledge of the world of finance and the people that hired me. So it's that's even more frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the biggest challenge that I've dealt with when I've worked with a lot of financial planners over the years, and having to deal with the regulations is probably the biggest work that I've had to do with clients over the years is the mindset of acceptance and going, okay, this is the lane that I'm allowed to operate in. How can I maximize my lane and add value to not only my existing clients, but how can I develop enough trust and and credibility with my existing clients where they refer me to every freaking friend and relative that they have. Because, and this is for everybody, it's like one of the most difficult businesses to build is a business where there has to be a tremendous amount of trust. And so there's a lot of work that you have to do on the beginning and on the front end to prove that you're trustworthy for people to open up about what's really going on in the area of finance, you know? And it's one of those long tail, it's like the same thing with the mortgage business, is you've got to develop a lot of friends, a lot of relationships, be a huge resource for people to where you earn that right to sit down and have that conversation with them. And the other big challenge that and you know this, is there's only certain things I can talk about or share, without getting my butt in trouble. And so, what I would say, the strategies I've given people is find ways to spend time, because time creates trust with people. So the last guy that I coached in a big way out of San Francisco I told him, I'm like, okay, he had the means, and I said, okay, you need to go and join he's a golfer. So I had him go join 2 country clubs, and he had to play golf 3 times a week. That was his assignment. I'm like, you call up the starter and go, hey, I want to know, is there a threesome that needs a 4th? That was his only strategy. And he ran that strategy for 2 years and ended up becoming top of the table and earning lots and lots of money because he's spending 4.5 hours with somebody, with 3 people he's never met. And so taking that is like, you're looking for, okay, people that have the means, because you're probably looking for somebody that at least has, 500,000 in assets or more, given the changes in the in your industry, where it makes sense now. If I need to have somebody that has money to invest.
except that the kind of financial planning that I do is for the middle income person.
Okay. Yeah. And so it's the same road that Eric has to go down. Is like, develop as many friendships and relationships as you can, and add a tremendous amount of value to their lives, so where you can. Ray Harrison was probably one of my most successful clients. We sold his company in 2011, and financial planning services, Harrison Financial Services out of Roseville. And we came up with a marketing strategy called the Second Opinion Service. We based it around the call sign, the emergency call sign of SOS, which is Save Our Ship, right?
Right.
And so we did an entire campaign around SOS, but we called it Second Opinion Service. And so the client said he was going after, they already have a financial planner, right? Or even if they didn't have one, it's like, hey, when's the last time you had a second opinion about your investments and your financial plan? And we ran that campaign for 2.5 years and grew his business about 65% per year over 2 years, and then he sold it. But the SOS program was brilliant, because everybody he was going after now, it's like, I'm not trying to steal you from your current financial planner. I'm just open to giving you a second opinion. And we gave a tremendous amount of second opinions. And as a result, because they actually had an interaction with him and his team, they're like, oh my God, they do things differently. Like when you went into his office, just little bitty tweaks. When you went into you had an appointment with his office, you walked into the office, they had this big old 65-inch screen. Welcome, John Pyron. First thing I saw when I'm like, well, I'm a big deal. I'm the vendor, but it was just little things like that just made the relationship even better. And so, just tweaking, making lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of friendship calls and touches every day is going to create a network that people talk about. You want to create that experience like the Ritz-Carlton, where it's a super experience when you interact with them. Like you literally feel like royalty when they interact with you, and that's how they get to talk about you, and that's what separates you from everybody else. So that's just my 2 cents. Anybody else got any feedback for Jeffrey? Did you go by Jeff?
I have a question though. Is this a frustration that like something not being neat, or is it a business threatening situation?
No, it's not a business threatening situation. It's a, how should I say? It's because of noviceness at the administration side.
Yeah. Well, I'll share with you that I don't tolerate inefficiencies very well sometimes, or a lot of the time. And I used to work at the state, and I left the state offices in part because of the culture of, it was just too whatever comes goes kind of thing. It wasn't efficient enough for me at all. One of the things that has really helped me in that regard is to really sink my mind into the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, such as other people's incompetencies, and the wisdom, the courage to change the things I can, what I can do to work around it, and the wisdom to know the difference. I actually changed that latter one to the wisdom to set good priorities, but that's just my own personal twist on it. But that has done more. A lot of my life problems they get resolved when I come back to that prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my 2 cents worth on that issue.
Oh, wait. Okay. So I need to unmute. I was muted. Okay. All right. So before we move on to Sonny, you're in a place where you can't talk. So let's move on to Allie. Allie, you got any challenges, issues, anything like that?
Nothing currently that I can think of, but if something comes up in the next few minutes, I'll definitely jump in.
Okay. And last but not least, Chrissy.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm looking to change industries, perhaps go be maybe in a different direction than I currently am in. I guess, what is some advice that you would give somebody who's looking for change?
Okay. So everything we talked about at the very beginning of the call is when you're going down a path or a road that you started on and everything was great and it's been great for a while, and all of a sudden you come to a point where it's like, this road's no longer meeting my needs. And it happens for a couple of reasons. Number one, you grow as a person, and your needs years ago are way different than they are now. Okay. And maybe you're in a situation where you've ran out of opportunity where you're at, and you hit a ceiling, right? Like, it's like my mentor Dave Vanny, when I talked to him in 2004, and I was looking to bail on the job that I had at the time to go and start a whole different business. He advised against that. And he said, hey, you know what? Have you truly achieved your potential where you're at? And I'm like, I did not want to hear that. I really wanted to bail, right? But a year later, I recognized I have reached my potential where I'm at. There's just no other, like the only reason I'm showing up right now is to earn a paycheck. That's it. Okay. I'm not happy. I'm not achieving my potential. I'm not being stretched. It's like Groundhog Day. It's like the same thing every day. And so I finally had to make a change. It was difficult, but if you go back through the exercise that I went through in the beginning of this call, is what is the life that you want to have? How do you want to wake up every day? What type of lifestyle do you want to have for your family? How do you want to live each day? How much money do you want to make? What kind of house do you want to live in? What kind of car do you want to drive? What kind of vacations do you want to take? All this stuff. And then get clarity around that and go, okay, here's all my skill set. Here's all the stuff that I have. Who out there can help me get there? Like employees right now in the market, they're in the same position that homeowners are that are trying to sell their home. The moment you put your home on the market, there's 25, that's how it is right here in California. There's 25, 30 offers on the home. You as the seller are in the driver's seat. Well, in the market that we have today, with all the stuff that we've gone through over the last year and a half, regardless of what your politics is, if you're a highly skilled employee, you're a highly skilled individual, you have a lot of talent, you have a great track record, pretty much it's time to sit back and go, wait, I don't have to settle for. I really don't. Like, I need to get clarity around the job that I want to have, the life that I want to live. And guess what? There are employers out there that will hire you, and what I tell people, it's like, go to pick, first of all, decide what it is, what kind of career you want to have. Either it's a career or a business. And the other thing I taught all the, I used to go around and do these talks, 4 different areas of the country where they bring all the sports teams, sports sales teams, like the 49ers, the Seahawks were in the room. That was like, I wanted to kick them out of the room. Oh, wait. Right. But all the sales teams for these professional sports, they would bring them together, and I would go and do a workshop for them. And the first thing I taught them is like, you know what? Stop looking at yourself as being an employee. You are a business owner. You incorporated, right? If you look at your job as a business and you treat it like that, then you'll be fulfilled. And so you look at, okay, what can I bring to an employer? Employers want to make money. They want to have processes and systems that run things efficiently. You have the skill set because I know you, and you have the background and the college education and the career and all that stuff. There's a tremendous amount of asset that you're going to bring to a company out there. So once we have that nailed down, then you go look at, okay, what company do I want to go work for? And you go to them and you go, listen, I know that you're probably not hiring right now, but you need to hire me. And here's why. Here's what I'm going to do for you. Here's how I'm going to make life better for you and your company. And here's how much impact I'm going to have. And oh, by the way, I'm talking to 5 other competitors of yours. Someone is going to hire me over the next week. It could be you, or it can be your number 1 competitor. Do you want to interview me? Yes or no? That's a whole different position to approach them at versus here's my resume and here's my references, right? And so you and I are going to talk about this on Sunday, and we're going to get a lot of clarity around this because you're my sister-in-law, and you get that stuff for free, and we're going to go out and find you the career that you want to have, and somebody's going to hire you and pay you what you're worth. Never underestimate or undervalue what you're worth to the market. If you approach it as a business and you approach it as your employer is your client, your prospect, and what are you going to do for them? Man, you can make a lot of money as an employee. That's just my 2 cents there. So Alan looks like he's got some feedback for you as well.
I do. Suffice it to say, I owe Chrissy a second interview. And John, you might want to be a part of that.
That's why I told her to be on the call today, because I knew you were going to
Well,
be here.
This is not common. I've mentioned it a couple of times in the past, but there's a gentleman in Chattanooga, Tennessee that is franchising my business model and some of the products that we have that he can package along with his offerings. It's pretty good stuff, and it is his company. But he wanted to meet Chrissy because he's building out, there's a technology component. That's what he's moving, but it's very sales, and it's not a pie in the sky thing. He's got an operations director who left a really great full-time job to help him get this thing off the ground. When I originally scheduled an interview with Chrissy, she blew my socks off. I'm not the one that's making the call as to hiring, but it was great. And frankly, better than I expected. And she did it from her car. There is no doubt in my mind that however this goes, she's going to land on the ground feet first and be very successful. With that said, I wanted to acknowledge that I owe her that interview. I've got to get that set up with my guy, Greg. He has been spinning his wheels like crazy, trying to get this thing going and ready for launch next week. That is preoccupied all of his time. But I think he's gonna have the same reaction that I did, and hopefully he can show you an option that you might elect to pursue. So there's that. That's what networking does. You never know what'll come of it.
Yep, that is correct. And it's very it's kind of scary for me because for those of you who know Allison, I am the direct opposite of her. So she's all about relationships and growing people, and I'm all about the numbers. That's just who we are. So it's kind of, yin and yang type of thing. So when you meet us, I'm the quiet one, and she's the one who's making friends with everybody. So it's scary to me to grow relationships and meet new people. Yes, I can have a conversation with them, not a problem. But for me, I'm having to grow myself as a person, just to be able to reach out and connect with people. And I think that's kind of probably in the last month, I've done a lot of that. And it's actually made me feel a whole lot better about myself, though. So having a conversation with Allison, thank you. She's kind of helped me achieve those things over the past couple of weeks. So I wanted to point that out. So she's very good and very knowledgeable about what she does. So.
All right. So one of the things that I want to close with is kind of a principle and this is for a lot of you that are going to listen to this recording or watch this recording, is we got two people on the call here today, Allie Pyron and Chrissy Goodwin. Both have had great careers at what they've done. And now they're at a point it's like, hey, do I want to get another job or do I want to start a business? And the thing is you can start a business at any point in time. All you got to do is go, okay, does the market have a demand for what I am skilled at? And the answer in both of these cases is yes. So that's number one. Number two is, do I get a great sense of personal satisfaction out of delivering that? And the answer is yes in both of these ladies' cases. And then finally, will the market pay money for it? And the answer is yes. So now the process is this. Now, fortunately, one of them's married to me and one of them's my sister-in-law. So they get to come to me and I get to help them plan this out and launch it. And then they're going to be successful and they're going to be in a six-figure situation in less than 6 months doing this. But if you're listening to this recording, it doesn't have to be me. There's only one of me, but there's plenty of great consultants and coaches out there that can help you launch and start a business and get it to a point where you never have to go back to work for somebody ever again. And so at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen in this situation is they're going to launch a business. I'm going to work with them. I'm going to help them launch that business, build that business, get clients. I already got clients. I already signed deals for clients for this business that they're launching, right? And so if that's you, you know, and you've always wanted to start a business, the idea, right? That's where business starts, right here, is your idea, okay? Is the place I'm working for is not doing it at my expectation level or above. I can quite frankly do it better. You know, get a mentor to help you with that, right? And so that's what I'll close with. It's like, you know, nothing, you know, if you're in America, okay, you know, I'll clarify this because and that's just what my knowledge is right now. You can make a decision like that and never look back. And I'll tell you this from personal experience, and Alan can probably testify to this, Eric Hutton can testify to this, is the moment I made that leap, it was the scariest thing I ever did because I was walking away from a guaranteed paycheck, and I'm like, oh my God, I can only eat what I kill. It was scary. But man, after 2 months of doing it, I was like, shit, I should have did this a long time ago. You know? And so if that's you, you're listening to the recording, you ever always want to start a business, again, you know, go out and find somebody who can help you. You know, if you want me to help you, then connect with me. So, and we'll go from there. But you do have greatness inside of you. You only got one life to live. You might as well live it to the fullest and go out with a bang. So I hope that has helped out. I hope this call has helped out today. Go out and make it happen. We're here every single Wednesday, 2 p.m. Pacific time, you know, till the day I die, and somebody will probably take it over from there. Hopefully that's like 30 years from now, 40 years from now. But go out and make it happen, okay? You guys can do great things in your business. Go out and make some differences in the clients that you have, and you'll be paid in direct proportion to the problems that you solve. So go out and make it happen.